Everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, it's where I talk about twin flame consciousness, twin flame process. So this is just the intro for the monthlies that are coming out for January 2022. I thought I'd just pull a few cards to see if there's anything else that they need to say for us to know. I mean, it already feels like it's going to be a really busy year. Lots happening, lots of movement, things changing for people. The energy is really good this year, so it just seems to be getting better and better and better. And I know the last couple of years have been weird and a lot of stuckness, but it feels like much more hopeful this year and a lot more movement for people. So people moving, switching locations, and new work for people, that kind of stuff. Things taking off. Okay, and it's 222 this year, so that means it's a really good year as well. 222 is culmination point, culmination of belief. So the more belief you have, the more faith you have, the more it's going to work out for you. So that is obviously believing and understanding law of attraction, and that your vibration is the precursor for everything that happens in your life. So the feeling good that is compatible with a good vibration is the starting point for everything that culminates in your life from that. Let's just pull a few cards and see. Oh, look, the Chariot. So that's movement, which is what they're talking about. Things taking off. It's an energetic, the energetic process. Not going too much into the twin flame process right here, because I'll put more videos out this year about all of that, obviously. But it's inside of you, the masculine and the feminine. So it's really being at one with yourself that creates the movement in your life. So there is always dark and light in everything. That's inside of you, in the way that you feel, in the way that you think. You have both light and dark. And outside of you, of course, the representation of all of that shows up in your life. So, but it's really the understanding that you have that inside of you that is the culmination point of where you move off from. Because if you understand that, then you can really get a grips with how you operate with that. So rather than thinking negatively or feeling negatively, it's about using your willpower, which is what faith and belief is. Because if you understand that it's your vibration that creates everything in your life, then it's using that understanding to create only inside of you what feels better, so that you can harness more of that positivity into your present physical life. So it's turning away from negativity inside of yourself, basically, and harnessing more positivity inside of yourself. And there's work, right? Let's get another one out. Four of Pentacles, which is the now moment. So the work is the focusing on the now moment. So you can only ever focus on, in terms of what you create in your life, focus on how you feel right now. And that is inside your physical environment, which is you and who you're incarnated as. So it's really just about focusing on the bright side of you, and just being really positive and trying to harness as much of that as possible. And I know in the past, and particularly the past 2 years, it hasn't always been possible to focus on positivity or to feel positive. And a lot of that's been because of what's been going on outside of you. And a lot of that's been also about maybe what you've been through in your life. But if you understand that twin flame process is a culmination of moving from experiencing and working from dark energy, because that's dark from inside of yourself and how you feel in relation to your life, and it manifesting outside of yourself in terms of your life itself. And it's moving from that into more positivity. So that will always be your momentum. And the culmination of that is present moment focus, right? So it's just focusing on the now, the here and the now, and not focusing on anything outside of that moment in your thoughts. And then you won't feel bad, because if you're only focused into the present moment, it's impossible to feel bad, because there's nothing going on in the present moment. And once you understand that, then the less starts showing up negatively from outside of yourself, and you're able to feel more positive all the time, because the things that show up negatively from outside of yourself only ever come from the inward feeling of feeling bad, essentially. So it's a process of we've been through a process of moving through all of that. So what's the work this year? It's focusing on the present moment. It's really just harnessing present moment awareness. Happiness, Nine of Cups, focusing on happiness. And it will bring you happiness from outside. So that's the same story, really. Just focusing on happiness in the present moment. So that doesn't mean, for example, looking at what is happy for me to focus on in the present moment, because that's still focusing outside, right? It's focusing on happiness inside of you, no matter what the outside looks like. So that's what the work is, because that's where you have to have faith, right? There's maybe nothing outside of me right now to feel happy about, but if I focus happily on the inside and feel happy on the inside, despite that, then what shows up on the outside is going to be better. And it's for the whole of humanity, that work. And it's particularly now, because, there's been a lot. It's been a shit show, basically, hasn't it, past couple of years? And the negativity has really got a hold. And not because of us, but because of the energies out there that want negativity to have a hold. For example, the media is really focused on that fear and bringing more fear to us in every second. So, it's really pulling away from that mainly as well. Trying not to focus on that, because it doesn't have any benefit at all to focus on it. I'm going to put one more out as final card. Higher Self, High Priestess. So it's being in Higher Self, basically. Higher Self knows that truth is, intrinsic inside of us. The truth is that everything can be all right if we just focus on feeling good. And that's it. It's to detach from the mainstream, basically, because the mainstream is not higher self. The mainstream is ego. The mainstream is functioning in fear, functions from fear, making money from fear, turning people into human slaves through fear. It's a fear matrix. So it's turning away from that. It's not engaging with it, and it's not believing it, basically. And you have the right to believe what you want to believe. You don't have to believe what anybody tells you. You can just believe what you choose to believe. You create your own belief, right? So you can choose to create belief of everything being good and turning out well and getting better, instead of the beliefs that are thrust upon you, which are entirely the opposite of that, mainly. So anyway, so that's that. That's this year. That's the focus. And then just to let you know as well that I've got an offer on for this month, for January. So until the 31st, if you book a video reading, the video readings are 33 GBP rather than 44, which is what they regularly are. And it's just for the videos, not for the Skypes, which are the same price as they always are. Just to let you know that. And if you wanted to book a reading, you can go to the website and all the details are there. And there's a PayPal button on the website. So you would just go to the PayPal button, put in the 33, send that off. Remember, it's GBP, so that's British pounds. And then email me with your question, all the details of how to ask for a reading, how to request a reading, how you work, even like how you word your question. There's a lot of that on the website as well for you to look at. And of course, if you do want to book a Skype, you can still do that. It's just that there isn't a discount on the Skypes. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to leave you there. Wishing you all the best for 2022 and all the best for January. I hope you had lovely holidays, lots of love. Take care. See you later. Bye. This is the readings for the air signs for 2022, January 2022. I'm going to start with Aquarius. So, let's see what they have to say for Aquarius. Cool. So you've got the Ace of Wands flipping out, which is brand new things, creativity, shifting as well energetically. And let's see what else we've got. Knight of Cups, which is romance and love and enjoyment as well, and all good things coming in that respect. So you've got a shift around, or it could be a shift around romance, it could be a shift around how you actually romance yourself and love yourself and how you engage in your love of life, that kind of thing. What else have we got here? And happiness at home. So 10 of Cups, which is about happiness in your home, basically. So it feels like you're going to have maybe a really good month. It feels like for some Aquarians, it's just going to be being on your own, actually, and really loving your being on your own and loving your life and your alone time and loving your where you live and loving being there. We could say that that would be with family, but I really just don't feel it is. I feel it's more about you loving being on your own. Ace of Wands is singular energy, shift point, and even if there's people around you, it's still always got to be about you feeling good on your own, right? And you feeling good, and not anybody else feeling good. Because law of manifestation states that it's your feeling that creates the manifestation and not anybody else's that you're connected to. So that is what I've got for Aquarius. Anything else? King of Swords, which is communication, mastery of communication. It does feel like a really light month for you, though. Very light, very joyful, very easygoing, and this is mastery over communication as well. Maybe some of you have resolved something at the end of last year. It feels like you're kind of skipping away from something, like you're. They just said landed on your feet. King of Swords mastery is 4. So yeah, landed on your feet vibrationally perhaps. And that you're skipping away from something, not running away from it, but just maybe something was mastery, communication achieved towards the end of last year, again, because we've got this home and family card. And remember, family can be anybody. It's not necessarily the people you're related to. It's just the people that you feel close to and that feel like you love and the people that you want to be around. It feels like something mastered around that, maybe, which is like the lightness, because this lightness of being that I'm feeling is like maybe you got something off your chest and you said something that you felt you needed to say, something that you were maybe worried about saying, or something that you were maybe a little bit nervous about saying. Also, it could be you receiving that from somebody as well that shifted things, but I feel like even if it was someone coming to you and saying something, there was maybe something you wanted to say back that just lifted things and released some kind of like holding pattern and some kind of tension and some kind of resistance that had been in your life, because we have got shift point, we have got romance and movement in love, mastery, communication and happiness in home, and also completion in the 10. So it just feels like a very light month for you in January. Ease and flow and feeling really good and feeling really happy and feeling just not even really looking at the future, just feeling good in January itself and loving that really is how it feels for you, Aquarius. So that's what I'm going to leave with you. And let's look at the next one, which is Gemini. Okay, so for Gemini, we've got Hanged Man, which is process. And 8 of Wands, something coming. And then the Star, which is healing. So actually completely different to Aquarius. It feels like that you might be dealing with resistance this month. So it feels like something's in process, it's still healing. And you're healing it by and bringing something towards yourself, which is coming from you, healing the resistance inside yourself. So conversely, compared to Aquarius, how it feels is that something you've been waiting for and that you've been watching out for and that you've been looking for and it hasn't arrived. And that could be a person, an event, a situation. And ultimately, it feels like the resistance is because you're looking for that thing and it's not arrived yet. And how you have that thing arrive that you're looking out for is by healing the resistance inside yourself, which is actually the feeling of tension that you have because it's not arrived, right? So it's like you're releasing the tension inside yourself. So maybe what you went through at Christmas was expecting something to happen that didn't happen, or expecting to see someone or hear from them and you didn't, something like that. And that whole like boiling point of, you know, you could have been waiting for that for the whole of the December perhaps, or the whole of 2021, and it didn't happen. And the only thing that you can do now in January is to let go, because we've all got to let go of 2021 and what didn't happen in 2021, right? And so it feels like maybe that's what you're doing. And actually the respite, the feeling good comes from you can finally let go. And, you know, always when you let go of something, it goes, things leaving claw marks, right? They don't go easily. So it could be that and that's what the healing is, because actually what you're healing is you're healing the resistance, and it feels like things dragging claws as off you as as the thing leaves, right? As the expectation leaves. But that's actually the healing, because once it's gone, it's gone. And you're in a point of let go, which is a place where things arrive. So the culmination point is always the feeling good. It's always the releasal of the resistance. It's not the resistance, okay? Because you've got creation in this boiling point of this hanged man and this weight. It's like cocoon. It's like a butterfly in a cocoon as well, or moth, or so something's being created even though you can't see it, and something is going to break free when it's time, like birth, you know. Nobody can really predict the exact date of a birth, because the baby's in there, got its own mind, got its own idea of when it's going to be born. Sometimes just to, yeah. Anyway, we won't go into that. Right. So something healing around what you've been waiting for. Healing again, Knight of Pentacles. So you could be feeling a lot of relief. Maybe not at the beginning of the month. You might still be feeling those claw marks dragging down. But certainly by the end of the month, because you've got 2 levels of healing here, physical, emotional. With that, of course, there's got to be mental, because it's part of the whole thing as well. But yeah, so I'll just say that really for Gemini. So maybe a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of the month, but then feeling better by the end of it. A lot more let go, feeling more positive, more hopeful, more joyful by the end of the month. More potentials, you know. And it's like the stages of grief as well. So it's feeling like, you know, first of all, you're going to feel very angry, maybe, you're very sad. And then you're going to slowly come to terms with what you had to let go of. And by the end of the month, you've moved into a lot of happiness and joy, and seeing actually more potential and more positivity than you did at the beginning of the month. Something like that is how it feels for Geminis. Okay, and then the next one we're going to look at is Libra 2022. So we've got alchemy in the Temperance card, which is the balance of dark and light, so the balance of the masculine and the feminine, and how that creates manifestation, and how you bring that to yourself through what you're channeling through, basically, whether you're channeling through the dark or the light. So whether you're in fear or whether you're in happiness, and how you bring to yourself from either of that, from whichever, basically, by being in that. Tower, which is an ending and a shift point in regard to that. And the moon. Well, so we could be talking about the moon, which is as early as the 2nd. I don't know if this reading will be up by then, but it will definitely be up the next day if it's not. And but there's another moon, obviously, at the end of the month. So Libra, it feels like you are going to be coming into balance in terms of who you are inside of yourself. It feels like you've got an opportunity and a choice in whether to see a darker picture, a bleaker picture, or whether to see a more positive picture and a more hopeful picture and a more wonderful picture of what your life could be and how life can be in general. There is a drastic change with the Tower, right? So it's a complete and utter sort of giving up, and it's changing you, right? And it's blasting through. So with the Temperance, there's always a push and pull. It's like a game of tug of war, right? So it's like, people go through life and they want to be happy, and they really want to be happy, but it's such a struggle sometimes for them to feel happy. And they get sucked into like fear and worry and stress and unhappiness and sadness and grief. And in that, what people go through in their human existence is a lot feels out of control, and it feels you don't even know why you're like that, and that you can feel so bad, but not really understanding even how that happened and how you got there and why that is. And in that, there's even more fear, because you're in fear of yourself and your own emotions and not understanding yourself and how you could possibly feel any better. And it feels here like maybe something's finally clicking into place. With the moon, everything is connected to the moon and the phases of the moon, and everything that's connected to the dark and the light. So it's the dark of the new moon and it's the light of the full moon that guide us through the operation of releasing the ego, which is moving from the dark of yourself into the light of yourself. So it's moving from the sadness of yourself into the happiness of yourself. And it's feeling like there's an ending in terms of that. It feels like the tug of war is like you're finally just like you're pulling the rope and you're pulling and you're winning, and you're finally pulling yourself into the light with one great big pull that you'll have done with it. So it feels like there's an opportunity here for that in Libra, and it feels like it's a willful opportunity. So it feels like it's a decisive move on the part of Libra to decide that there is going to be no more sadness and no more fear, and that there is going to be happiness and a determination. Actually, it feels like a determination to feel good, which is always good, because feeling good is where we should be. I'm going to put one more out on that. It's really weird because it feels like it's an authentic choice. So authentic choice is soul choice. So we all come here with a plan of what we're going to do and our life is going to be about. And always that plan is something energetic and not something physical. So it's not like we come here deciding we're going to be a bank manager or anything like that, but we come here for the energetic work that is the soul, work as soul. And that's the authentic choice that we make, right? In that authentic choice, there's an authentic destiny. So if you've come here to move from the dark spectrum to the light spectrum, to like live half your life in fear and to finally come out into the light where you're living from happiness and joy, your soul choice, your soul work is coming into that destiny of coming into the light. So it feels like a destined choice, The ego, you see, the confusion of the ego is the fear that you don't know why you're here. And like I say, so people go through their lives, why am I so unhappy? Why am I so unhappy? But it can't be why I try so hard. But the thing is, if it's your soul choice, your authentic soul choice to go through feeling that for a certain amount of time before you come into full happiness, then you don't need to work it out from your ego, because the ego will never get a handle on that, because it's ego, it's mental energy, it is in itself fear, right? The light is the soul. It is the fruition of vibrational work. So it's the destined outcome of a soul choice, which is completely out of the ego's hands. So it feels like such a shift is going on this month for Libra. And, maybe it was always meant to be that. Maybe it was always meant to be 222, 2022, right? Belief, faith, the all-seeing eye. Put one more out on that. Four of Wands, stability and vibration. So yeah, and also coming home. And when you come home to yourself. And when you come home to yourself, you come home to your soul self. When you come home to your soul self, you come home to your vibration. When you come home to your vibration, you feel good because you're a soul self. And when you're soul self, you're released from ego and you're released from all the worry and the fear and the doctrine and dogma of the physical dimension and all the lies and all the worry and all the stress and all the bullshit and all the lies and the worry and the stress and the bullshit. So, and when you're released from all that, you're coming into happiness and joy. So it does feel like that, a self-determined final outcome of what you were here for from a soul perspective. That's that. All right, so we're going to leave that, Libra, and then come back with the next one. So as I said in the other video, I have got an offer on for video readings for January. So 3333, that's British pounds, and you can pay through the website. You just put the amount in, and I'll put the details in the description box below. Please do look at the website first, and if you can't work it out, then email me. But if you can work it out for yourself, then, you know, appreciate if you did that first before emailing and asking about things. There isn't any offer on for Skype. Skype is the regular price, just for the videos. Okay, lots of love. Take care. Have a great January and a great 2022. Bye.